Hi there everyone. Welcome to the video lecture series on complex variable. I'm Mayur Gohil. In this video lecture, I take up the following question to find an analytic function f of z equals to u plus iv in terms of the variable z if u minus v is equals to x minus y times x square plus 4xy plus y square where z is equals to x plus iy. Now, if such a question comes in examination, let us see how to handle this. There are certain fixed steps for these kind of questions that we have to follow, and then we are generally it is the same thing but in a little broader sense that we have to write. That's it. So we write down let f of z is equals to u plus iv as the first equation be analytic. Now, in this, what we do is we multiply again here by I times f of z. This is the multiplication we perform and we get I times u minus v. Okay, so this is the second equation. Now, what we do, we add them. So we get 1 plus I times f of z. While adding on the RHS side, we collect the real component, and so u minus v is the real component and the imaginary component are collected together. So it is u plus v. Now this is what we get when we add equation 1 and 2. Okay. Now what we write is we allow here let u minus v be the capital U and u plus v be capital V. That is what we allow. Then what do we do is this. So because of that reason, what I get is 1 plus I f of z is now this whole expression gets converted to capital U plus I times capital V. Now what is given to us is u minus v, right? So u minus v is labeled here as capital U. So what we do is here what we will do is we will write the derivative here 1 plus I f dash of z is equals to u suffix x plus I v suffix x, and in the next derivative we write here u suffix x minus I u suffix y. The procedure is almost similar to the one that we did when it was only imaginary part or only real part was given. It is this almost similar procedure, but now little change in the notation of the variable notation capital U and capital V coming into the picture. So now what we do is we write the function that is U minus V is equals to capital U, which is equal to x minus y times x square plus 4xy plus y square. Okay. Now we calculate the derivatives that we need. So now we calculate the partial derivatives with respect to x and respect to y. So u suffix x is daba capital U over daba x. So we will have here x minus y times the derivative of x square plus 4xy plus y square is 2x plus 4y. So x minus y का derivative here we get is 1, right? And that's what is the answer. Now we leave a line here or we can leave some space, and now we write u suffix y derivative. So that is daba u over daba y, that will be x minus y times 4x plus 2y plus x square plus 4xy plus y square into minus 1. Okay, that is the derivative when we take x minus y derivative with respect to y. Now we have found these derivatives, we have to substitute here. So what we can do is we can avoid the labeling step, or we can directly write it over here. So let us see how to go ahead. I'll be directly writing here, and I'm not gonna label again and again, like put x equals to z and all that. So we can just write down here that therefore what we will get is, we write down this step is 1 plus I times f dash of z is equal to, so ux is the term that we need to write, x minus y times 2x plus 4y plus x square plus 4xy plus y square. Okay, that is the term. So it is minus of I times, we will have x minus y times 4x plus 2y minus x square plus 4xy plus y square over here. Now we do here that by Millen-Thomson method, put x equal to z and y equal to 0. So what we get is 1 plus I times f dash of z equal to, now here we put is z. Okay, so z minus 0 is z, then there is 2z, then there is over here 4xy plus y square, that will vanish, and so we will have again z square. Okay, and then minus of I times, when we go for that, the next term, when we put x equals to z, we get z minus 0, that is z over here, and then there is 4z. Okay, 4z, and then again there is minus of, here we will have z square. Okay, so we have this term here, but then the y, the moment we put y equals to 0, the last two term vanish, so we don't have to worry about it, and so we get over here is 2z square plus z square minus I times 4z square minus z square. That is what we get. And so on simplification, we will have here 3z square minus I times 3z square. That is what we have. Now let us simplify this further. So here we continue our answer, that is 1 plus I f dash of z, we get is 3z square minus I times 3z square. So we take 3z square common, and we get 1 minus of I, and here it is 1 plus I f dash of z. We simplify this expression, f dash of z is equals to 3z square times 1 minus I over 1 plus I, And now this expression 3z square, if you are allowed to use calculator in your exam for how much is the value of 1 minus I over 1 plus I, then it is okay, otherwise you will need to show the calculation. So this is how you go about it. You can directly write that answer, but if calculator is not allowed, then it is, this is the way you proceed. So 1 plus I, 1 minus I, and this is 3z square. Okay, so in the numerator you have 1 minus I the whole square, and here in the denominator you will have 1 minus I square. Okay, that is what you will have. And yeah, so let us expand the numerator. So 3z square as it is, 1 minus 2I minus like you will have actually I square plus of I square. Let me do the basic exam expansion, so it will be clear. So it is 1 plus 1 over here, and therefore f dash of z is equal to 3z square, and then there is 1 minus 2I minus minus 1 divided by 2. So that is 3z square into minus of I. That is your answer for f dash of z. So that is minus 3I z square, f dash of z as the answer. And now you integrate f dash of z dz. When you integrate, you will get minus of 3I integral z square dz, that is minus 3I z cube over 3 plus c. So minus of I z cube plus c is f of z. So this is the answer for the above question that you see. I hope you have followed the method. So let us put the final answer in the box, or highlight it at least, so that we can recognize it. So here the procedure, if we see, they are very important step, the starting steps, which here you can see, I'll mark them in red. These are very standard steps that you will need to remember throughout. The first 6 steps are very standard, and you have to fix them in every answer of this type that you are going to attempt. And once you are done with that, you calculate UY/UX and follow the Millen-Thomson method, and you get your answer. Okay, so please go through the entire question once again, because it's quite new to you, and it will be there with certain degree of complexity. So please handle it very carefully, and these steps which are fixed, they would fetch you some marks, and the other procedures, do it carefully, because the terms could be lengthy. I have skipped over here the part of labeling. Okay, you can skip, or you can even attempt to write the label, and but the same thing is going to turn up. Okay, so this is how the method flows. The steps which I showed you here could be avoided. Okay, these steps could be avoided. You can write your answer directly here. If you are allowed to use calculator, then you can skip 4 steps. Those are actually not required. So that's how the whole thing is. And so this is the answer for the question that we have seen. I hope you like the example and have understood the concept. Please hit like button and share it with your friends, those who find this topic useful, and those of your friends those who have complex variable in their examination. I hope it helps them, they benefit from it. Please subscribe to my channel, hit like button and the bell icon so that you get all the updates of the future videos. Till then, keep solving good amount of mathematics. Thank you.